promised we'd start to reconnect black and brown and overlooked neighborhoods cut off by highways in the 60s, and decades of disinvestment as a consequence of it, including here in Philly. Well, we're changed that with the Recovery Act. Right now, you see all the construction going on the highways around here.
What the hell happened to him? He just, like, in mid-sentence, wanders off. Welcome back to the program. It's Dana Loesch with you. Bottom of this second hour. Yeah, he just craters right in the middle of his remarks. Do you know what he was talking about, Kane?
But I know that it was on his teleprompter.
How do you mess up when it's on the prompter?
Right. That much I know.
But it got better because it did. And maybe. Let's try audio. Maybe audio soundbite 5. Maybe that. Let's see.
And there's two reasons. It'd be a wasted asset if we didn't, but I want to prove to everybody, not a damn thing that a white man can do that a black man can't do or do better. I mean it sincerely.
Why do you still talk like this to people?
It's important to get it done. You go down the list of all the
Why are
things
you still talking like this to people? Who sits there and looks at, different, voters of color, different demographics, and says this stuff? Does I hear him say this, and I watched that video. That video was so cringe. It just feels so racist. He's racist.
He's on the Panda Express and he can't get off.
It's so bad. And then, wait a minute, audio soundbite 4. Listen to this. It just gets crazier.
What do you think he would have done on January 6th if black Americans had stormed it? Think about this.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you think would have happened if black Americans had stormed the Capitol? I don't think he'd be talking about pardons. It's the same guy who wanted to tear gas you as you peacefully protested George Floyd's murder. The same guy who still calls the Central Park 5.
Okay, so that just assumes that they were all white. Maybe the majority of them were, but I don't even know if that's I don't know. I mean, I didn't sit there. I don't think like a progressive. I don't sit here and go, let's only see race. That's how progressives think. They only want to see race, everything through race. I don't know how you live like that. But furthermore, what about the BLM stuff that happened in cities across the country for 2 summers in a row? Ferguson burned. Towns in Tennessee and Kentucky, and hell, they tried setting a fire. Rioters tried setting a fire to a church in D.C. There weren't really any arrests or anything, and that was far more damage and far more dangerous. There were fatalities from that. And that was under Trump's term. I didn't see any, National Guard, state police, any of that stuff coming out. Did you, Kane? No. So what is he talking about?
Great question.
I mean, there was a white woman who was shot and killed by a black police officer in D.C. for January 6th. Yeah. He kind of glosses over that if you want to have a conversation about race. I mean, there literally was a SWAT team behind her, and this Capitol police officer still thought, I'm just going to go ahead and fire at her. I don't care what's behind the target at all, which is like the first rule. Just shoots her dead on camera if you want to have that conversation about race. But it's pandering. It's such pandering. And it seems so racist every time he does this stuff. It's embarrassing. Oh my gosh, this gets worse. Audio soundbite. Just give me a little bit of 7, although I think most of this is yelling.
They're trying to erase black history. We're going to write black history because it's American history.
He was the pro-segregation president. Yes. Kane also found video of him dropping the N-word. Yeah. You did. Once or twice?
Yeah, he's done it once at least.
It has to be censored before we can even play it. Yeah, but no. Yeah, we heard it. We played it on break, and it was... He said it.
He sure did.
Speaking of people saying stuff, can we talk? Hang on, I got to talk about this Pope thing. So, Pope Francis, this is The Guardian. It's a British paper. Pope Francis allegedly used offensive slur during discussion about gay men. Bishops say the pontiff made the remark during a closed-door debate on admitting homosexual men into seminaries. Really? He said he's 87. And apparently, according to the article, it was a remark he made during a closed-door meeting with bishops in Rome last week, where they were reportedly discussing whether gay men should be admitted into Catholic seminaries where priests are trained, a topic that the Italian Bishops' Conference is said to have been pondering for some time. Can I say it in Italian?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. Does that count?
It's news. I mean, it's what he said. It's news.
Yeah, but so he used the word
That they use for cigarettes in the UK?
what? Yeah, I mean he called them. It rhymes with dags.
It's a mystery.
That's what he said. The Italian. Can I say the Italian? Because he said it in Italian.
He did.
But he was saying, well, this is how I have it on my rundown. Quote, there's too many daggets. That's what he said. It's a vulgar Italian word that roughly translates to daggitness. That's what the article says. And of course, I'm saying the D, not the F, because we'll get in trouble. So they said that the unnamed bishops they said the pontiff meant the derogatory term as a joke. And some were surprised and perplexed by the alleged slur. He might not have been aware that the term was offensive. Wait, you're more offended over that than the possibility of what he just said? Wait a minute, hold up. By the way, the photo that Juan selected of this is just chef's kiss. Let me just point that out for a moment.
What is he doing?
He said that, because the Pope said that he said being gay is a fashion and the clergy is susceptible and all this stuff. So they're mad that he called them a bunch of dags, but they're not mad that they're being admitted. The bishops who got butthurt over it, pun intended, right? I don't know. It's Frociagni. Yeah.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Frociagni. That's apparently what it is. That's for news purposes. Anyway, but he said that the article says, during the discussion, when one of the bishops asked Francis what he should do, the Pope reportedly reiterated his objection to admitting gay men, saying that while it was important to embrace everyone, it was likely that a gay person could risk leading a double life. And then he is alleged to have added that there was already too much of the Frociagni, a vulgar Italian word that roughly translates daggitness in some seminaries. So he said that there's too many of them in the seminaries. That's what he said. And some of the actual bishops were like, that sounds like a slur. I'm perplexed. You're perplexed that he said the word, but you're not perplexed that he had to because it exists? Where are you at? Right? Someone's like, the pontiff may not have been aware the term was offensive. I'm pretty sure he probably was. I don't know. They said it's just the Roman Catholic Church's position is that homosexual acts are sinful. The decree on training for priests in 2016, blah, blah, blah. I just think it's funny that they're acting like there are people acting like it's, I can't believe he used that word. Well, I can't believe that there's apparently too much daggitness in the seminaries. I mean, I'm more shocked over that than the word he used, right? I mean, not shocked, but you know what I mean, right? Come on. So I wish he wasn't so bad on so many other things. Because I feel like this is a Fetterman moment he kind of had, right? Because on the other stuff, he's just not so great on.